5 Steps to Prosperity Mastery, a simple and scientific way to prosperity, harmony, and true happiness by John Seaman Garn. Let's begin. Let us take up the steps of this formula one at a time in order that we may get a clearer idea of what each one implies. Here's the formula itself. When I am conscious that my mind is an absolute creative power, whatever I ardently desire, vividly imagine, joyously accept as possible, and expectantly act toward will inevitably manifest. The first step. At first reading, the initial step of this formula may seem to be somewhat obscure in meaning, but the phrase, when I am conscious that my mind is an absolute creative power, implies a very definite way of stepping up the powers of the mind, just as electricity may be stepped up to higher and higher potentials. The current which supplies your light bulb and your refrigerator comes over the wire at 110 volts, but it may be stepped up to 10,000 or 15,000 volts, vastly increasing its potentiality. Perhaps your mind and mine are running at 110 voltage level, and we need to increase our potential by stepping ourselves up a bit. This may be done by applying the law of mind, a principle the importance of which can scarcely be overestimated. The statement of the principle is, mind operates under its own conception of itself. This means that if you think of yourself as hindered in the doing of creative work, your mind will cease in a large degree to function creatively. Conversely, it is a matter of common experience that if you believe you can do a thing, you do actually accomplish it. Thus, the concept which man holds over his own mind is more influential than the race has heretofore recognized. For if I really believe that my mind is a part of the one source of creativeness, mind, I shall be holding the concept over it of its unlimited ability to create. This at once lifts the whole level of mental activity to a higher degree of potentiality and efficiency. It dissolves inhibitions, instills a limitless though quiet confidence, ideally unifies conscious and subconscious levels, stimulates new intuitive perception, and in all ways lifts the individual mind to the level of superpower. It thus actually releases heretofore latent creativeness. We readily accept the fact that electricity does not change its nature when we step it up or down in voltage, yet its potential is so increased that it seems almost like a different kind of energy, demanding more highly specialized instruments for its handling, and in all ways seeming to take on greater powers of accomplishment. So, as you learn to step up your mind, you will find that your accomplishments are vastly different. Such treatment will not increase your intelligence quotient, perhaps, but it will so increase the efficiency of your handling of the existent quotient that your mind will seem like a different mentality. Thus, very ordinary minds sometimes become able to produce far above their old norm of creativeness. The first step in obeying this formula, then, is to take a moment to meditate on the nature of mind. For thus only can you lift your conception of yourself. Say to yourself till you feel and believe it, mind is the one creative power, and I am that mind. All the potentialities of creativeness are existent within me at this very moment. I am a part of the one creativeness, and my mind, when I so realize and use it, acts under its own creative law and is in a limitless degree productive. Second step. The second step in our formula states, whatever I ardently desire will manifest. Here again, we often disobey the proper technique of mind by feeling that desire is an unworthy or at least an impractical activity. We have been taught by semi-popular writers on applied psychology that desire is likely to be merely wish thinking, leading to a spineless kind of fantasy which we substitute for the practical world of actuality called hard facts. This, of course, is only one aspect of the truth. If we allow our mental operations to stop with desire thinking, we may truly be accused of impractical daydreaming or wish thinking. But desire, in deepest truth, is a practical way of drawing out from the subconscious depths of the individual's mind those ideas which are held inarticulate just below the surface of the consciousness and which are often most significant to his future development. Your deep self holds ideas of purposive action, but can only project them into consciousness as dim urges until through desire they are brought to the focal point of consciousness as ideas and ideals. So one is most likely to desire either those things which he has full power to obtain, or which, at least, lie in the direct line of his most needed unfoldment. Let your dim urges develop into desires, and let the desires become articulate. Boldly think them out into verbal expression, knowing that this is a part of the creative technique. Set aside a little time each day, therefore, to draw your desires forward into conscious mind and then write them out, and so objectify and define your ends or aims. This is the height of wisdom, for it is the very beginning of the creative process for you. Through it, you will find new and profitable ways of developing new business when other men are crouching in the grass, waiting for the enemy to pass or for the financial weather to clear. It may be well at this point to warn you that it is not desirable to turn your desire power toward actually existent things. Do not desire someone else's business nor any other tangible asset. In the world of mind, these mental forces are to handle mental factors only. Whatever you desire as an ideal will concrete itself through this technique of mind, and to know this law will free you from the danger of coveting other people's property, conditions, or powers. Within yourself lies all potentialities. Use this creative technique, and you will produce for yourself. Third step, whatever I vividly imagine. Mind is unable to concentrate itself for long without a definite and tangible image, for most people need a concrete focal point which to fixate attention. Therefore, it is very necessary, if we really wish to do creative thinking, that we should early define our one aim. First in words, for words are in themselves images, and afterward in complete visual or feeling images. That is, if my central desire were to make more money with which to unfold happiness for myself and benefits for my friends, I would write this down in a phrase as my burning desire. This is my specific end. Now I may continue by imagining the process by which I am to produce this money, and even invite visual images of actually having and handling more money. Often such an expedient helps to give me the consciousness of abundance, and it is not at all foolish to imagine how I would feel with plenty of money in my pocket and with the power to produce abundantly and spend freely. The really important step is to work out some definite value or service which with you may give to society and which will, in turn, bring money back. Perhaps you already have some plan in mind which will benefit mankind. Then you must work out a concrete pattern by which you can first produce and then merchandise this service. If this process may be visualized, you should picture it in detail, but in most cases, detailed pictures do not come until later in your mental work. The best working images for the beginner are word phrases such as, I see this process of producing, name your product or project definitely, in operation. I imagine it being manufactured, and now I see in detail just how it can be merchandised. Thus, state as definitely as you can your desire in the form of words, behind which are growingly definite plans, and having written them down, return to them often and renew your mind as to your definite aim. Restate such phrases daily, giving mind within you a chance to bring you new details and new ways and means of putting them into operation. Thus, imagination becomes the creative agency by which your ideals and plans are formulated in concrete outline. Do not minimize the importance of taking time and quiet to invite the mind within you to so produce in definite detail your dreams and desires. Fourth step, joyously accept as possible. Whatever we repeatedly imagine and allow to become warm in consciousness begins to seem possible and even actual to us. Before ideas projected by desire and imagination may drop down on the subconscious level and really become working patterns for creativeness, they must be vividly felt as present realities. To love the thing you greatly desire and to feel it as now present are primary steps in this psychology of acceptance. This complete conviction of a project being just as good as done, Jesus called faith. This word has much been used in the Christian world and has beautiful connotations. Many people, however, are bewildered when they find it necessary to believe that the thing they wish and dream will come true. They do not know how to acquire faith, and something in them keeps saying, "This would be supremely desirable, but I don't believe it can ever happen. What's the use of kidding myself?" But this is not mental deception, for whatever is thus felt as on the way to us is being dropped down on the subconscious level of mind where it is caught up and operated with a new kind of universal power consciousness. And when this feeling of joyous acceptance is complete, the matrix idea of your thought is already being actualized. This level of mind, called the subconscious, built your body and keeps it in repair. It is the subconscious mind, and whatever it completely accepts and feels as already on the way, will inevitably be produced. The word for faith, which best carries to most people this necessary action of the mind without a mysterious religious suggestion, is the word belief. Whatever we completely believe and accept as being done, or even believe is possible of accomplishment, is already being held in the stream of universal mental substance and will surely be manifested. Fifth step, expectantly act toward. The creative process is never finished until we have started something. We must act towards the result which we desire, even though the action may at first of necessity be very fragmentary or ineffectual. So the next necessity is that I shall expectantly move toward the realization of my end. No matter how slight the thing that you can do just now toward the accomplishment of your desire, do it. If you are looking for a new job, use all the material means such as making personal applications, putting your name in employment bureaus, advertising in trade journals, so that on the material side, all the channels for the inflow of prosperity may be open. But don't forget that the most important thing is your own mental attitude and your own readiness to act toward the desired end while vividly seeing yourself attaining it. Action is the most powerful of all suggestions to the subconscious mind. Thus, whatever you expectantly act toward is invariably caught up and operated upon by the universal creativeness. Summary. To summarize, take time once or twice a day to get quiet and give attention to the nature of your own mind, to think of it as an absolute creative power, which produces by purposive thought, is to keep it up to this level of its highest power to produce. Now challenge your mind to create by awakening desire. Say, what is it I most want? Let imagination respond with a definite idea or image. Then free yourself from fear and confusion by writing down your desires as indefinite projects embodied in words. Take time night and morning and many times during the day to read them over with as much expectancy and faith as you can muster. Then at night, go to sleep, allowing the mind to drift off into subconsciousness with the feeling that already these blessings with which you desire are on their way to you. You will find this a very powerful method of using the mind and will soon realize that this law of creativeness does inevitably work. Then on the morrow, rise to act towards your project, no matter how seemingly slight the immediate consequence of the action may be. This formula embodies the very principle of prosperity, that within mind, your mind and mine, is a technique of creative thought which inevitably produces. Try it. It works. This concludes a reading of 5 Steps to Prosperity Mastery by John Seaman Garn. If you received value from this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more audiobook videos. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your support. I'm sending you oceans of love and peace, and I'm wishing you success in all your life missions and purposes. See you soon.